Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another beautiful episode of NSL Fulltime. My name is Taye Akimboni. I'm not here by myself. I'm here with my two co-hosts today, Mr. Manfred and Mr. Uche. Uche, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Uchedo right here in the house. It's football time.
I like that. I'm Manfred, and this is another episode. Thank you guys to our audience that have tuned in to watch this reveling football podcasters talk about football. This is NSL full time. So let's go as charity begins at home. Let's go into NSL. So this season is promising to be, in my opinion, one of the better, if not best, seasons in our 25 years of existence. Why do I say that? Because when I look at the list of teams that have registered to participate this year, it is really very impressive. Yeah. We have OGB Chiefs, Opopo, that were the current winners, Warriors, Team United, Bendel FC, the only team that has won the treble, Senegal DMV, Youngblood, Jamaica, and Eastern United. I want to say big up and welcome to Jamaica for coming back into the NSL. It's going to be Reggae Boys, a lot of music and colors. And then for the Veteran League, the teams that have registered so far, we have the Cameroon team. That's the current champion that went unbeaten. We have Maracana team, the Soya Lovers, as they call them, God Davis. Washington All-Stars, Losili, a team from Guinea, Salon All-Stars from Sierra Leone, and the United All-Stars. So, and of course, let's not forget, we have the Co-Ed League and the Over 50 League, as well as the Youth League that is coming. So NSL is up for a very big challenge this year, and our tentative start date is April 19th. So please mark your calendars and follow us on all our social media.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm really glad that the Jamaican team is back, because there's nothing fun and more, funny than watching soccer with Jamaicans and their expression and shouting, pass the ball, move the ball, man. I just sit there on the bench and just have a good time.
Glad, man.
I missed it. I missed the argument and stuff, man. It's been fun. So I'm glad they're back. And I'm also looking forward to the co-ed. I'm looking forward to having some ladies come out there, play, have fun. The ladies always bring the guys. So I look forward to the co-ed. Unfortunately, I'm not ready to come out of retirement yet. But if I am, that would be a good league for me to join.
I'm in it 100%.
Oh, yeah. If we play it, maybe I need to come out of retirement. I just stop being lazy,
Hey, Ogauche, give me your best Jamaican accent.
Rasclat, man.
Keep it clean, man. I knew it was going to be
it's not really funny for some of us that we also we also belong to management of the open league teams. I'm going to be losing a lot of my players who are Jamaicans, who are going, transferring to play for the Jamaican team. So for the past 3 days, Bendel FC, we've been on, group calls, Zoom calls, trying to,
transfer window saga, huh?
Together. It's going to be an interesting season because we won it all this year. Bendel FC, I'll tell you, we want every single trophy available. And so do other teams. So it's gonna be an interesting league.
Nice, indeed. Also, we'll take this opportunity as we're wrapping up an NSL update to say a happy birthday to our Commissioner Extraordinaire, Commissioner Obi Danda, for your 50th birthday. Happy birthday!
Yes. Obi, happy birthday, sir.
A man of the people.
All you do, really, really, we appreciate you.
Yeah, now me no one stay for NSL. Me want go now talk about Champions League. Okay, what you got, man? Talk to us. What's going on with the Champions League?
Man, it's looking scary. As a Madrid fan, I know. Like I have a friend of mine who was telling me, "Oh man, I'll put my money on Madrid. Oh, Madrid is the when it comes to Madrid Bayern, I don't even want to touch that game. It could go anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, Bayern as a team is the better team now, but it's the UEFA Champions League. Real Madrid, you cannot count them out. There's a reason why they're called the Kings of Europe. So that matchup, it's gonna be a tough. In fact, all the matchups, Barcelona against Atletico, tough one. In fact, they're gonna be playing 3 games in what 8 or 9 days, because they just played this weekend, and Barcelona got one on them, beat them 2-1. Yeah, you know, Atletico had a red card, but Barcelona was the better team. Now they go, you know, against each other again twice in 8 days. It's gonna be, and
you know,
don't
Champions
forget
League football is different football. So
Yeah.
Barcelona may have bested them during the league game, but Champions League is a different animal altogether.
Exactly. And Atletico, the past few years, they've been having some shocking results in the Champions League where, they're beating teams that we don't expect them to beat. So, that's going to be a tough one. Arsenal Sporting, I mean, we all predicted that, you know, Arsenal will take them out, but with Arsenal's, you know, last couple of weeks, it's kind of a down period for them. I hope it doesn't affect them in the Champions League. You know, they can't go in there hoping they're just gonna, you know, roll
over Sporting. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Champions League again. Anything can happen. It's win or go home. You know, and of course the last matchup, which is
PSG Liverpool.
That's another. I mean, PSG is, you know, clearly the better side, but again, it's a Champions League, and we're talking about Liverpool. That's another Champions League giant. We've seen Liverpool win the Champions League and finish 5th or 6th in the Premiership in the same season. It's happened before. So it's a Champions League. I was telling someone the other day, anything can happen in that game. I would not be surprised if Liverpool takes out PSG. We all expect PSG to win, but it's the Champions League. It's the magical moment. Strange things happen now in the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, I want to focus on Barcelona Atletico a little bit, right? You know, they just played each other this weekend. Right? Atletico lost to Barcelona 2-1, and Atletico got a red card. So that's a preview of the Champions League. So they're going to play each other again in Champions League. So imagine that, you know. And that game was a great game. Atletico went up first. Of course, you know, Barcelona showed their talent and everything. So that was. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that. Arsenal, you know, they're not going to win Champions League. I'm sorry. I just don't. I have no hope for Arsenal winning Champions League. The only
what about against Sporting? Let's not just say Champions League. Can they take out Sporting?
I don't know. Honestly, they just lost to Southampton in FA Cup. Did we miss that? Southampton is second division. They're seventh in Championship.
Do you think that works in their advantage or disadvantage? Because now they have less to worry about. They can now put all their eggs in the Champions League and the EPL.
This is why I think it's a disadvantage, because they played everybody except for Saka and David Raya, right? Guess who they play next? This weekend, they're playing Bournemouth, who's a high-pressing team. So they also try to win the league, so they can't afford to lose against Bournemouth. They play at home, so there's pressure on that. Here's what I'm saying. So how many players can you, I don't know. I mean, can you rotate? You can't rotate, because you're trying to win the league, you're trying to win Champions League, and you just lost to a championship team.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the coaches' biggest challenge. Arteta. Well, I want to say about the Barcelona Atletico game, it's very important to note that the first game is being played at the Nou Camp in Barcelona's home. If they are able to psychologically win that game, maybe with a 1 or 2 goal difference, that will sort of give them like a flow. Like, I beat you last week, then I beat you this week. Now, can I just conclude the third game, as opposed to if the game was to start in Atletico's field? So either way, let's say I'm very excited about the Champions League. Bayern, Real Madrid, all my prayers, if I do fasting and prayer, is for Real Madrid to be out. You don't want Real Madrid in the Champions League during the end stages. They are just a super kill. And Vini is on fire, as Leroy pointed out. Yeah. So he's virtually unstoppable. I mean, before Mbappe and them came, Real Madrid had won 5 in a row. And then now you have Birmingham and Mbappe come, and then they start turning down games. Anyway, I'm very excited. Champions League starts tomorrow. I have my popcorn ready. I just have to find out where I can get that vitamin water to sit and be on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've said it before on this podcast. I support both teams, right? My team in Spain is Real Madrid. My team in Germany is
Bayern.
You know, and I watched both teams this weekend, right? Real Madrid just lost. Real Madrid just lost this weekend 1-0. I'm sorry, 2-1. And Bayern was down 2-0 at the 70th minute, and they came back and won that game 3-2. So they're on fire, you know, and they were still able to rest some players. So I'm going to watch the game, but I'm torn on who to root for. But it should be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So now that we're talking about Bayern being on fire, let's talk about the leagues around the world, the top 4 leagues, and we may just sneak in the Saudi League. We spoke about Bayern, and I was looking at the standings. Bayern is 1 and Dortmund is 2.
Yeah.
Bayern has 73 points. Dortmund has 64 points. They have 8 games to go. But this is what caught my attention. This season, Bayern has scored 100 goals. To Dortmund, 60 goals.
Yeah.
What that tells me is that they have this offensive weaponry that is unmatched in Germany. That's Bundesliga. With 8 games to go.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
The attacker is unmatched worldwide. They don't rely on one player or 2 players. They have multiple players. If you're looking at it,
kill you.
If you look at 9, they have Kane, they have Diaz, who can go wide or play 9. They also have Jackson from Chelsea, who's when you want to those 2, you have him. If you look on the right, you have Olise, you have Kyle, the magical 17-year-old baller, you know. And then if you look on the left, you have, I mean, they stacked as going forward.
And what's his name? Gnabry has played well this season.
Yes, Gnabry.
Gnabry is on fire, you know. So
Stiala is back. It's scary.
It's if you go to League PSG is up with 63 points, and the second is Lens that has 59 points. So it's a 4-point gap with 8 games left. So that is more tricky in France, and PSG is also in Champions League. So they have a double thing that they're following.
I'm sorry. PSG. Sometimes I watch them, and you know, I think they purposely try to make it competitive. Sometimes, trust me. That league is just
that's the race. It's not even worth watching. It's better off who's going to qualify for Champions League than who's going to win the league.
I got you.
Exactly.
In Italy, Serie A, you have Inter is leading with 72 points, and it is so close. Milan has 63 points, and Napoli has 62 points. And the 4th in the Italian league is Como, the new team that Cesc Fabregas is working with. Very impressed with the work that Fabregas is doing. But the Italian league, I think Inter will carry that because they have a 9-point gap with 8 games left. And then now for the famous EPL, Arsenal has 70 points and Man City has 61 points. Now, we can look at it this way. Man City is involved in the FA Cup, so that's a little bit of a distraction, while Arsenal is involved in the Champions League. So let's see how that plays out. It's also a 9-point gap with 8 games left. But now City, you go to
also involved in Champions League too.
Go ahead.
I said City is also involved in Champions League. Don't forget that.
Oh yeah, wow. So City has a treble that they're following.
They can still get a treble. You know, well, Arsenal's treble is gone due to Southampton. But
no, it wasn't a treble. It was a quadruple, and that became a treble. Then now it's a dual approach.
You said City in the Champions League. They're out.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My mistake.
Yeah, Madrid took them out.
Yeah.
Wait.
Look at the Madrid fan.
My apologies.
Madrid took them out. Why don't you hit your chest?
My bad. My apologies. My apologies.
That's why we call the kings of Europe.
And then in Spain, La Liga, Barca has 76 and Real has 69. So
I think it's over. It's over. I've considered already. After this weekend, it's not. I was hoping it's 3 points or less before we go to the Camp Nou to go play, and if we really want to win this league, just pull out a victory on that day. But now 7 points now. But Barcelona, they're too good to let 7 points sleep at this time of the season. I think Madrid. I don't know what the coach was doing. This resting of players, I've never been a fan of it. They get paid to do what they do. Let them play. If they're not injured, let them play. If they have to play 2 games every week, let them play. Because there's no statistics or research that shows resting players make them play better in the next game. So why?
Yeah, but it prevents long-term injury, though.
thank you very much.
But we see players that hardly play, but they always get injured. Even in training, they get injured. So
Players are different. Players are different.
Right.
These players are making a ton of money. They should work for their
When you say resting players, do you know who were the players that were on the field while those players were resting? Mbappe. But like big time players were on the field.
No, but you know what you're winning. I'm a Madrid fan. I say it all the time. Some people may argue. Man, when Vinny is cooking, it's impossible.
Let him cook.
Because he's our creator. Everything goes through him. He could score, he could create. Mbappe really cannot create. Mbappe, of course, is an incredible goal scorer, but creating when Vinny is there, it's just different. And when
would you rather rest Vinny for a game or 2 or lose him for 6 months plus?
He's not injury prone. He could play. He played twice for Brazil in 4 days. He could. Okay, and you ended up bringing him second half. I would prefer a coach who starts your bets team, try to get the 1-2 goals, then second half pull out the players that you want to rest.
Uche, I think it's easier said than done, right? Because if you look at the history of Real Madrid this year, first of all, we have issue with the medical staff, right? And look at the whole back line. We've had 5 or 6 guys, Alaba, Rudiger, even Dean, who is relatively always healthy.
We haven't had a healthy back line in 2 years now.
Exactly. So we've had issues with that. So I can understand rotating players, to be honest, especially when the games are not big, right? Like the game we lost this weekend, it wasn't a big game.
No, it was not.
It was not a big game. It's a game that you expected to win. And if you're
the coach would have been justified to do the rest.
If you're a Madrid player, you're expected to be able to beat Malaga. Come on, it's not a big game.
Yeah, Mallorca.
Mallorca.
Okay, let me compare these to Barcelona. Okay. Madrid lost a game earlier in the day. They knew they were 7 points. They would have said, you know what, man, we'll rest most of our big guns because we'll have a Champions League game. Because even if we don't win this game, we're still 4 points clear. But guess what? Yamal, everybody was there playing.
Because they're playing a big team. They're playing Atletico.
Yeah. And the victory was not secure. Victory was not secure.
They were playing Atletico. You think if Real Madrid was playing Atletico, Vinny would be on the bench?
No, he will not.
Well, you have
Atletico is number 3 in the league.
Man,
let's anchor with an ex-Madrid player, Ronaldo, that's playing in the Saudi league. The Saudi league is so tight. Al Nassr has 70 points. Al Hilal has 65. And Al Ali has 65. They have 8 days left. Al Nassr has Ronaldo, Mane, Joao Felix. Al Hilal has Benzema, Ruben Neves, and Koulibaly. And then Al Ali has Ivan Toney, Mahrez, and Frank Kessie. So it's a conglomerate of stars that have met at the top, and they're like 5 points give and take. So it's extremely competitive. And we know with the crisis in Iran, there was a period when the players were afraid of their safety due to the proximity. But I think things are beginning to settle down. So the games are extremely competitive. I was following some of the games, and I was very impressed with the degree of competitiveness. But that's as far as the Saudi League. Ogata, what can you tell us about the FA Cup?
Oh man, FA Cup this weekend was madness, right? And we came back from Champions League break, and everybody took a break, and FA Cup was just madness. First of all, the biggest news in FA Cup is Arsenal is out. Arsenal, who, like you said, looking for a quadruple, lost to a Champions League team, Southampton. Southampton is 7th in Champions League, which is the second division in England. That's
Championship.
In the championship. So that's got to be depressing. Chelsea had an easy win against Port Vale. That was an easy see-through. And then the other big news is Man City demolishing Liverpool. I did not see that. It was hard for me to pick who was going to win that game. I gave the edge to City, but demolishing Liverpool, it was
they
tough.
took more than an edge.
Yeah. And I think they might have kicked off Salah's retirement because he looked average.
Tired.
Yeah, he looked average. So that was crazy. And then, but the craziest game of the weekend actually was Leeds and West Ham.
West Ham.
Yes.
That was an interesting
game. I watched that game yesterday, and quick story: Leeds was up 2-0 until the 90th minute, and then decided to score the first goal, and then they scored the second goal, tied the game, took it to extra time. The goalkeeper got injured. They had to bring in a 19-year-old, if I'm not mistaken, goalkeeper. But Leeds ended up pulling off a stunner in the penalty kicks, once it goes to people. But that was a good game. That was a great FA Cup this weekend, man. I'm looking forward to the next round. I'm glad that my Chelsea's got Leeds, and then let City battle it out.
So it may be Chelsea, Man City at the end.
That would be great. That would be great. Chelsea has a decent record with Man City in Championship. We beat them in Champions League.
But this is not the same Chelsea. Their coach is not steady. The results are not forthcoming. So
but even in Champions League, Chelsea was an underdog. So right. Chelsea does well when we go into tournaments as an underdog. Look at the Club World Cup. We were underdog to PSG because PSG were the Champions League winners, and we ended up beating them. So I rather go into finals as an underdog as a Chelsea fan.
Those one night, one game games.
Winner takes all.
Yeah. Anything can happen. Any mistakes can be very, very costly. We just we can't be cocky. We just gotta get through leagues. Once we get through leagues, then we focus on whoever's in the final.
So let's talk about what is happening here at home with the United States men's national team. They lost their last 2 games with a combined score of taking 7 goals and scoring just 2 against Belgium and Portugal. Can you please shed some light on that? What's happening? What's the message? And what this tells us about the upcoming World Cup?
So the general consensus is, yes, it was bad. Let's even forget the general consensus. When you look at the scoreline, and this is the last international break before the World Cup, right? So this is supposed to be a fine-tuning international break, but nothing was fine-tuned here. Everything was just a disaster. In my opinion, it's one thing to lose, but it's another thing to get demolished. 5-2 is too much from Belgium, and this is not the great Belgium team. There's no Hazard, there's no Lukaku, there's no the great. This is not the great Belgium team. This is just an average Belgium team, and then you're going to lose the second game 2-0. I know Pochettino is still trying to sort out who his striker is, but that backline is with Tim Rim and all these guys, it's just Chris Richard is great, but he needs a really, really good partner. It's just bad. So right now, but with that being said, though, I'm very, very hopeful that U.S. will come out of the group. I know we're going to talk about the U.S. group and draw later on. I'm still very, very hopeful that we're in a good group and we'll be able to pull out of the group. But it's depressing to see what they did in this international break. They just need to pick it up.
So can I say this, Ogauche, before you jump in? Their next friendly game is against Senegal on May 31st. And as if that's not hard enough, on June 6th, they play against Germany. So I'm seeing a situation whereby morally, if Senegal, if you know what the Senegal national team looks like, if they come and somehow defeat the Team United States and then Germany beats them, so they would have lost 4 games in a row, then to go into the World Cup. Their first game at the World Cup is against Paraguay on June 12th. So I'm not sure if they can manipulate the lineup or if they go in as an underdog, it will work in their favor. But I'm really worried about the United States chances and what they're representing now, especially being the host country of the World Cup. So I have my givings, my misgivings with the national team of the United States. Anyway,
like I said, I think they still come out of the group. You know, I'm not worried about that because they have a very favorable group. But yeah, it's not looking good. Once they come out of that.
Speaking of groups, let's go to the World Cup draws and see which groups and who's coming out of each group, and we'll get everybody's take on that. Let's see what the World Cup draw what is telling us. So while we're waiting for the draws to be posted, we see that there are 12 different groups in this World Cup draw.
I actually have a question for you guys while we're posting the World Cup group. What is the definition of group of death? Because when doing the World Cup, everybody always talk about group of death. Uche, what would define a group of death for you? Or what defines
personally, I would refer to a group of death as a group that has at least 3 strong world, class power teams. Some people will say, oh, group of death is when you look at the 4 teams in a group and man, you can put your money on any 2 to come out. I think to me, group of death is a minimum 3 very good teams that usually are expected to come out of a group. That's what I would classify as a group of death.
I agree with you to an extent. Someone fed up, but how about you?
I will tell you that there's a group of death that goes with the definition that Ogauche just gave. 2 to 3 teams that potentially can get to the semifinals or win the World Cup, as opposed to the group of dead, which is like the group A of this World Cup draw, whereby whoever comes out, they don't have any chance of winning the World Cup. So, if you put up the groups, the group A, you have Mexico and all those teams. None of them potentially everybody is a potential World Cup winner, but the odds for anybody to win from group A is very, very small. So to me, that's a group of dead. And then the group of death is a group maybe like group L that has, or the group with Brazil that has potential World Cup winners. That's my definition, at least.
Okay. I mean, I agree with both of you, but I just want to phrase it in one word: is unpredictability, right? It's unpredictable. The group of death has to be unpredictable, where, yes, it might not be 3 great teams like Uche said, or it could be, you know what I mean? But it's going to be tough to have 3 good teams, but it's just the unpredictability of who's going to come out or who's not going to come out of it. So I do agree with you, but I disagree that A cannot be classified as a group of death, because when you look at it, you can't tell who's coming out.
Yeah, a group of dead. Nobody's winning a World Cup in that group.
For example, so let's look at Group A, like since you brought it up, right? Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and
Czech Republic.
I don't know who's going to win that group. I can't put my money on any of them. Can anybody predict?
That's exactly why I can't put my money. They're a group of dead.
Well, you call it death. I call it group of death. Group of death, because you don't know who's going to win at all.
All right, go through the groups. Ogatai, tell us which 2 teams are coming. Rapid fire from each group. Group A.
I don't know. Honestly, Group A, I don't know. Group B, I'm favoring Canada and Bosnia. Swiss got a good number, but I don't know, man. I just don't know. Group C, definitely Brazil is coming out. I will go with Brazil and Morocco. I'm rooting for our African team. Group D, like I said earlier, USA is coming out, and not Turkey. Turkey with Argola from Real Madrid, and they have that left back. I forgot his name. Is Dynamite, man. He can run up and down all day. So in Group D, I will stick with US and Turkey. Group E, obviously, if Germany doesn't come out, it's a disappointment.
Wahala.
And I will go with Ecuador. I want to say Ivory Coast, but I can't trust them. They're so unpredictable sometimes. So I'm going to go with Germany and Ecuador. Group F, Netherlands for sure. And I'm stuck between, I'm going to go Netherlands and Japan. Let me just be upfront. Group G.
Rapid.
Yeah, Group G, Belgium and Egypt. New Zealand might surprise everybody, but I'll go with Belgium and Egypt. Group H, Spain and Uruguay. You know, that's an easy pick. France, obviously. By the way, France is my early pick to win the World Cup, at least to make it to the final. So I will go with France and Norway. Norway because they have Ireland, they're gonna go score goals. But I'm hoping that Senegal makes it out. Group J, Argentina, World Cup champion, you know, defending champion. There's no way they're not coming out of that group. The second out of that, I want to say Austria. I feel like they have something in them that's going to go above Algeria or Jordan. And then Group K, they're going to take Ronaldo. They shouldn't, but they will take him because it's one of the current living GOAT of the football game. So I'm going to go with Portugal. And I kind of like Colombia and DR Congo. So flipping a coin, I will go with Colombia because they have a tough group in South America. And finally, Group L, I'm a big fan of English football, so I'm going to say England and Croatia. Sorry, Ghana. You guys don't even right now. So that's my quick rapid fire quick picks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Group A. I will go with Mexico, South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah. Group B, Switzerland and Bosnia. I don't see Canada making it out of that group.
Wow, that's
Group
surprising.
C, yeah. Group C, Brazil, Morocco. Group D, Turkey. I would only put the United States in there because as the host, we don't want a host nation going out in a group stage. But the U.S. men national team, they've been a big disappointment. And just like you said, Bamford earlier, if you have to now play Senegal and Germany, game, you don't want to be going into the World Cup, 0-4 in friendly.
Low morale, yeah.
So and watching them play, I've not really been impressed. I will go E. Germany and Ecuador. Ivory Coast is not.
I'm surprised.
It's not impressive. I've watched them play. Group F, the Netherlands and Japan.
Wow.
Group G, Belgium, Egypt. Group H, Uruguay and Spain.
Why do Nigerians say H?
Not all Nigerians.
H, whatever you say. I would say Uruguay and Spain, but Spain has to be very careful. I keep telling people the Spanish team in my lifetime, following the World Cup, they've always been the biggest chokers. An exception of 2010 when they won it. I've seen Spain, like in 2014, go out in the group stage, lose round of 16. I don't know, for some reason they would always have a good team but just fall short. So they have to be careful with Cape Verde. Cape Verde could come out as a shocking team to everyone. But I mean, we'll just go with Spain and Uruguay. Then France and Senegal. I think that's pretty easy for me.
That was my pick too, France, Senegal.
Yeah. J, Argentina, Algeria.
Me, Argentina, Austria.
Yeah, I'll go Argentina, Algeria. K, Portugal, Colombia. And L, England, Croatia. I think that's,
Wow, nobody going for Ghana. Okay.
No,
I'm not
Ghana is poor. Ghana just fired their coach. That's how poor they are.
That's true.
Before the World Cup, Ghana, the two friendly games they played, they were poor.
Okay, I'm not going to go through the list. I agree with most of the picks that you guys have. Just for purposes of time, I'll just say I'm really concerned about the United States being the host country, but I'll also pick Canada to come out because they're also a host country.
Yep.
With that said, I think this was great. We'll try to wrap up and
hold on 1 second before we leave the World Cup. I want to get your opinion about something. We can't talk about World Cup wrap up and not talk about. It's one thing for Nigeria not to make it. We know Nigeria is in.
oh my God, this is a big topic.
What do you guys think about Italy not making it for the third World Cups in a row? Italy, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they probably have second or third most World Cups, and they have missing 3 World Cups in a row.
Second, they have four titles. It's, in fact, Italian football. I don't know. They should be in a meeting room right now, trying to figure out what's going on. Because from the league, it started with the league and now it's, transferred into the national team. Yep. I'm looking at an Italian, starting 11, and I'm like, oh no, this is just poor. Yeah. This is just poor. I mean, we're talking about Italy right here. We're talking about the country that has given us the Alessandro Del Pieros, the Nestas, the Maldinis, you name it, the Roberto Baggios, and now it's like the first 11, everyone, these are just pedestrian players.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned, it's really poor.
Italy has no top 50 best players in the world right now.
Yes.
There are youth teams that even the Italian league, it's kind of died, but they have no.
It's that bad. Yeah.
I think it's terrible that we don't have a big football loving country like Italy in the World Cup. But in a year where we have 48 teams, almost 50, and Italy is not part of it.
Yeah, and I mean, their coach was saying the other day, that he can't believe only 16 teams are out of 48, only 16 are coming from Europe. Oh, and Africa is bringing 10. In my own, this is my personal opinion. I kind of side with him a little bit. For our performances lately in the World Cup, Africa, we should not be bringing 10 teams to the World Cup.
No. I totally disagree with him. Are you telling me that Italy cannot be top 16 in Europe? Even if Europe is only providing 10, Italy should be part of it. Take responsibility for not having a good football.
Thank you very much.
Blame it on Africa and anybody.
Yes, that aspect. That aspect I agree.
Yeah,
but I'm saying,
don't bring African players or Africa into this. This is your failure as a country, as a football-loving nation, that you cannot be in the top 16 selected to come out of Europe. Don't bring Africa into this. Gattuso is an idiot for bringing.
If I may say something, Ogataye, about Gattuso, when he played in his heyday, he was considered a bulldog. He would get the ball and give it to people that have football IQ. Boom. He had zero IQ, and he's going further to exemplify it again to say Africa should not have this man. No, Gattuso really, he needs to take a back seat and take responsibility and stop digressing attention.
Really? Well, yeah. What does African football has to do with your failure of the football in Italy? Don't do that. That's idiotic statement, and I'll stand by it any day. So
I mean, I'm not impressed with we in Africa to our performances.
It's a totally separate subject. It's a totally separate subject. Gattuso he has never played in Africa. He doesn't like coaching African players, and so just let him just stay in Italy. Mind your own business.
We'll talk about it next time. About it next time.
It's a totally different subject.
So this was amazing. This was really amazing. Thank you so much to our audience for hanging in there with us. It was exciting. We touched on several different topics. I want to continue to thank our management staff, our studio staff that are working in the background to make this possible, and the entire NSL and African diaspora community. So until next time, I would have my co-hosts also give their goodbyes, but I'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah, my final statement before I say goodbye again, congratulations and happy birthday to Obi. Big 5-0. Congratulations, bro. Looking forward to celebrating with you. And then to wrap up soccer, congratulations to Inter Miami. They opened their stadium, I think 26 or 27,000 capacity. And then, NSL is starting this month. So I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, for having us. It's football season. The weather right here in the DMV, it's getting warmer. Everyone's coming outside now. The football season has started. We feel the football fever. The World Cup is coming. Happy birthday once more again to our commish emeritus, Commissioner Obi, my leader. Happy 50th. Bye, everyone.
Yes.